What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out my channel, watching my video. Today I'm kind of going against my nature and doing something that I usually don't do. I'm not a big fan of soups and stews. Soups, not real food. Sorry. Stews are a little bit different. This is actually a comfort food. It's a Mexican stew. It's got chili powder and beef, chunks of beef, cinnamon, cumin, etc., etc., etc. And to top it all, you do it in the Instant Pot. For those of you who watched my Black Eyed Peas video, I refuse to call it Instant Pot. I want to call it Instapot. So if I say Instapot, you know what it is. But anyway, you do it on the Instapot. You cook it in that thing for about 30 minutes. That's all it takes. A little bit of prep work. Look at the video. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them down below. I'd love to hear from you. Enjoy the video. All right. The recipe calls for about 2 pounds of stew meat. Walmart had 3 choices. You could get lean stew meat, regular stew meat, or a chuck roast, or mock chuck as they call it. Lean stew meat, the regular stew meat and the mock chuck roast were the same price, about, I think it's $5.96 a pound. The lean stew meat was like $1 something more a pound. The lean stew meat was really nice. The regular stew meat looked like something they scraped up off the floor. It was really gross. So I thought my best, most economical route was to go with a mock chuck, which we will trim and slice. Now I use 2 different knives. I use the small knife to trim because I want to get that silver skin and any excess fat off. So the way we used to do it at the po' boy place I used to work, you just start it and pull. I don't know if this is right or not, but this is the way we did it. And you kind of slide your knife towards the silver skin. If you can look at like the flat side towards the meat, and just kind of slide it. And keep in mind, this ain't gonna be perfect. Because we're gonna do it in a pressure cooker, and the meat will pretty much melt at that point. And again, if you're looking for perfect knife skills, you're probably in the wrong place, because I don't have them. But they work. Okay, silver skin's pretty much gone. Let's go right around this edge. Then we're gonna kill. All right, now, you wanna cut it in about 1-inch chunks. So I use my bigger knife, my Misono knife. Remember, a rule of thumb is from the tip of your finger to your first knuckle right there is about 1 inch. There's a little bit of fat right there we're going to kill. There's a big gristle right there too. I'm going to cut that out. What you doing, buddy? Hey, baby. Sweet boy. Yep, that's gristle. I remember as a kid going in Tennessee, we had a meat store called Malcolm Meat. And when I was a little boy, I remember going with my dad into that meat store. And I still remember the smell of that meat store for some reason. All right. Boom. So that's about 2 pounds of cut up chuck, or mock chuck as Walmart calls it, as opposed to the garbage they were selling as stew meat. For our spice mix, we are going to use 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I got a little heavy on chili powder. I never think there's enough chili powder. 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of paprika, smoked paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. Which coriander seed is basically the, well, not basically, it is the seed from the cilantro plant. And then we're going to mix that together. It smells so good. A little hint of cinnamon coming through. Yum. All right, with your cubed beef, which we just did, you're going to put about 4 teaspoons. That's a tablespoon, but sprinkle about 4 teaspoons of the spice mix over the beef. Just turn it around a bit. All right. We're going to salt that, but not too heavy on the salt. And pepper. Totally cross-contamination here. But I think I'm going to probably use all this pepper, so it's going in the trash. And you know I love black pepper. I have to say that's probably my favorite spice. Still some more. All right, good enough. Toss that, make sure it's all evenly coated. Every piece has a little bit of that spice mix. And set aside. For veggies, we're going to use a yellow onion, a small, medium yellow onion. And we're going to chop that and flick it away like it don't matter. Okay, come on now. Nope. I know all these remedies about making the onion where it won't make you cry. I've yet to find one that works. If you cut it quick enough, you're not gonna cry. I don't really have a problem with it. Get off there. Again, not known for knife skills, but this is the way I cut it. I know a lot of people say to turn it on its side and leave the root attached. That makes a big mess for me. I just do it like this. Like I said, if you cut it quick enough, you're not gonna cry. All right, there is my yellow onion cut. Now we do want a chili. So I'm using an Anaheim. You could use a poblano. Don't use a jalapeno, but the Anaheim's a little less spicy than the poblano. That's why I go with an Anaheim. Mike would probably want me to go with the hot one, but I don't like the hot. So we're going to open it up, and we're going to de-seed it and devein it because that's where the heat is. Get all those little boogers out. All right. No seeds at all. Now, even though this is a mild chili, I'm still going to be real careful with my fingers and wash my hands immediately after chopping. Because knowing me, I'll go straight to scratch my eye and regret that decision immediately. All right. This is all going to go in our vegetable bowl, which is going to go set to the side until we're ready for her. All right, with the Instant Pot, or Instapot as I call it, we are going to set this to saute, which it's on. Hit it on high. We said just let it go for 30 minutes. It don't matter. And say start and let it get hot. All right, the Instant Pot is hot. So we're going to throw in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil and our chili and onion mix. And we're going to saute that until it's tender and lightly brown. Should be about 5 minutes or so. All right, this has been cooking for a few minutes, and we're beginning to get a little bit of brown on it, and a little bit of fond on the bottom of the pot, as you can see. At this point, we're going to put our spice mixture, the remaining spice that we did not put on the beef, which is about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. We're going to put that in and let those spices roast for about a minute. You really begin to smell this now. The cinnamon, it smells so good in it. Okay, we'll go ahead and kill the Instant Pot and turn it off at this point. And set that out because I really don't want that to cook much more. I don't want those spices to burn. All right. The cooking is almost stopped. We're going to put the pot back in. You can see what it looks like. Yum! To this, we're going to add 2 cans of chilies and tomatoes, Rotel tomatoes, into the pot. Stir it up. That'll stop the cooking for sure. And we're going to add about 3/4 a cup of water to that. And stir it. It smells so good, y'all. Now you can use fresh garlic if you do that. Put a couple of cloves with the onions. I just use garlic powder, so I'll put about a teaspoon or so of garlic powder in there. At this point, I really don't want the garlic powder to toast. And again, we will hit it with pepper. We'll hit it with black pepper. Ouch. I'll put about a teaspoon. And we are going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Probably about a teaspoon. All right. Our seasoned meat we will put inside. Now we want to make sure this is kind of nestled down into the soup. All right, we are going to put our lid on. Listen for the magical sound. There it is. Make sure our vent is not open. We're going to set it to high, which is pressure cook. We're going to set it for, I got to get it to the right spot. It's for 30 minutes. All right, pressure high. Oh, come on. Stop. Delay off, keep warm, off. And start. We will see you in 30 minutes. When the 30 minutes are up, you're gonna let this cool naturally about 10 to 15 minutes. Do not press the pressure release valve, just let it kind of naturally come down the temperature. All right, the time is up. We're gonna check the pressure release. It's empty. We're gonna open it. Yes. Give it a stir. Oh yeah. We're going to take a bite out and taste it for seasoning. It's hot. So good. It's got a little kick to it, but you can really taste the Mexican flavors coming through, the cumin and the chili powder, but that little touch of cinnamon just does amazing things for it. Now to serve this, I've already cooked some white rice, and you could use brown rice, but I like white rice. You're just going to serve the stew over the rice and make sure you get some of that liquid to soak up, where the rice can soak it up. Top it with some shredded cheese, and I'm using the Mexican blend. And this really adds something. You're going to take Fritos and crush them, which is in this bag, and sprinkle that on top. That adds such a level of texture, you're not going to believe it. Mike put a big dollop of sour cream on his. I didn't think it needed it. That's it, guys. That's the recipe. Instant pot Mexican stew. Enjoy it. If you have any things you add to it, if you adjust it, I'd love to hear from you. Please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. If you guys have anything you would like me to try, I would love to get ideas on new recipes. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you back next weekend.